Want a comfort dish that packs a nutritional punch? Registered dietitian Shannon Crocker has a great recipe for us this morning, and a very timely one.
Yes, absolutely. You know what, Annette? Everyone has immune health on their minds right now, but it's osteoporosis month in November. And so bone health is on my radar as well. And this soup is going to give you nutrients that you need for both immune health and for bone health.
Okay, so does that mean it's got lots of calcium in it then?
Well, you know what? It actually doesn't have a lot of calcium. It does have some, but that's one of those misconceptions. People always think about calcium only for bones. And so we're going to talk about some of the other nutrients like potassium, vitamin D, vitamin K2 that are all in this soup as well.
Okay, and healthy fats too that are needed for that. So let's get going.
All righty, perfect. So what we're going to do in this soup, what I really love is that all the ingredients work together to create this amazing flavor. But also the nutrients from those ingredients work together to create a kind of a synergy. So they work together to boost the nutritional value beyond the basics. So starting off with that healthy oil that you talked about, we're going to saute some onions, garlic, and carrots in canola oil. And I'm using canola oil here because it's a healthy Canadian grown oil. And beyond just, being great for sauteing in those vegetables, it also does help us to absorb some of the nutrients found in the veggies, like vitamin K2, for example. That's actually going to be in the cheese, beta carotene in the veggies. I add in a lot of broccoli, a lot of spinach into this soup. So you think it's going to look like a lot, it's all going to melt down. The secret ingredient is going to be tofu. So that's going to give it that creaminess without the cream. And then we're just going to actually finish it off with a little bit of vitamin C coming from the lemon that's going to help absorb some of the iron in the soup as well from the plant-based veggies. And we're going to top it off with cheese. Now, I like to top it off with an extra old cheddar. It's a fermented cheese. And so that's going to give you vitamin K2, which is also good for bone health.
Okay, and going back to the broccoli that you put in there, was that broccoli that is raw, or do you have to cook it or kind of like steam it just a little bit before you put it in?
Yeah, great point. So it's about actually 8 cups of broccoli. It's a lot of broccoli.
That's a lot.
Two big heads of broccoli. So this is a veggie packed soup for sure. And then we do simmer it down. So I simmer it in sodium-free or low sodium vegetable broth. And that way you can control the amount of sodium as well. I let it soften before I add in the spinach.
Okay. And I like too that you were saying that you could use basically any greens that you've got. So maybe you've got some leftover kale or whatever, throw it in there because it's just really a good, soup is always a good way of using leftovers or things that you've got in the fridge, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, I think we need to be flexible with our ingredients, right? Because we're not running to the store as often, or foods may not be available right when you're in the grocery store. And so, add in whatever veggies you have and keep frozen broccoli, frozen spinach, frozen kale in the freezer. You can throw it into a soup really easily.
Mm-hmm. So how many people does this recipe serve then?
This would serve about 4 dinner-sized servings. You could actually extend it beyond that. And you know what I really like? I like to make a double batch. And then you've got a jar that you can take to somebody maybe who's living on their own, who could use some nourishing comfort food right about now.
That's a great idea because that jar will last quite a while in the fridge, right?
Yeah, it will last for the week in the fridge, and the soup freezes as well too. So you can put it into, I put it into a freezer bag, I lay it flat, and you've got it in there for about 3 months. So like a month from now, you can have this soup again, and when you don't feel like cooking, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And this is a great substitute, like for a meal, right? Like this is a meal in itself.
It's perfectly for a meal because the tofu that I add in there. So not only does it provide creaminess without the cream, but it has protein. So that's going to help you feel fuller and satisfied longer. So really, everything you need. This is a meal in a bowl and a head.
Awesome. I just wish that you were here because I would get one of those jars, I think. But
yeah,
till next time, I guess.
Yeah, you would. You know what? In the meantime, you can go to shannoncrocker.ca and get the recipe and make it for yourself.
I will do that and share. Okay. Thank you, Shannon. Lovely to see you again.
Thanks, Annette. Great to see you.